Okay, I am Natalie Eskew. For those of you that do not know me, I have been in network marketing now for almost 7 years. I've been using social media for business that long. I have my course, Your Story, His Glory, but I also have all of these other weird things that I do. So I always just tell people that my job is I am a professional encourager. That sounds kind of silly. I was a cheerleader, so I get that a lot. But encouraging people is what I do. And so this is a way that I get to do that. So I'm so glad that all of you are here, that you found me. I've loved getting to know you through the questions that I've already asked. So if you're hopping on live, will you go ahead and put live? I know I didn't give you guys a time, so you weren't sure when this training was going to be. But if you catch the replay, put replay too, so I know that you watched it. Now, today's training is about the purpose of social media. I loved your responses to how you look at social media. So many of you guys have the best hearts. And I think that's what's really encouraging for me is that, we really are the more workers in the field because the harvest is ready, guys, and we need more workers. And that's what makes me so excited about doing this training for y'all. So when I look at social media, it's similar to some of the way that you guys look at it. But my goal is, and with what I've done with Your Story, His Glory, is kind of challenged a little bit of what we're taught in mainstream media. Yeah, we can talk logistics and numbers and quantifiable results, and we can do the algorithm, and we can get into all of that. But what I found is, one, I am a mom of 2 little kids, and I don't have time for that. Put a one in the comments if that's you. I don't have time for that. Also, when I start tracking numbers, I get really in my head, and then I start judging my content, and then I start thinking that I suck, and then I just stop posting. Put a 2 in the comments if this is you. Some of you talked about this too when we were just saying, why are you here? And so I really focus on the heart of it. I focus on what my mission is as a believer. And then I focus on building a business, but in an authentic and full of integrity way. Yes, we could do things more quickly. Yes, we could do things just more aggressively, but that's not my call. And so this is not your average social media training. Okay, so the way we're going to start today is I looked up the definition of social. Okay, so social media, obviously right now we're in coronavirus and there's a whole social distancing, all this stuff. But guys, listen to the definition of social. It's needing companionship, best suited to living in community, and it relates to society or organizations. And it comes from the Latin word, which means friend. Okay, so it's friend media. So let's look at it from a whole different perspective. So let's take away the business and let's think about what it means to be a friend. And now you guys are probably, some of you might be rolling your eyes, but bear with me because I've got a point, okay? So when I think of qualities of friends, I think of friends, they listen to me. And you can just drop yours in the comments, when you're listening. Listen, they support me, they encourage me, they call me out in a nice way, hopefully, but they call me out when I'm wrong or I need to a check in my spirit. Friends talk to me, with me, we share, and then they add value to my life, whether it's from those other categories or because they just share things with me, they're adding value to my life. So now if we take this idea of being a friend and we add it to our business and this idea of social selling, friend selling, I'm going to give you 3 different things to think about. The first is social media is your marketing platform. Who's heard this before? It is not your sales platform. It is your marketing platform. What does that mean? Okay, if you're watching a commercial, you're seeing the product, but you can't actually buy it right then. The transaction is not taking place in that moment. It takes place behind the scenes. So in this marketing idea, you are a walking, talking commercial, not for your brand, not for the company you work for, but for you. The second thing I want you to think about is selling always takes the place, it always serves a need, okay? So it's a need being met. And the only way that we can know the need, I'm going to give you 3 things to think about, and then this is tomorrow's training, okay? How do we know a need? We have to connect with people, we must share with people, and we must serve, okay? So some people know it as know, trust. Tomorrow it's the 3 E's, which I'm really excited about because basically the 3 E's are all that you need to know about social media content, okay? But we are trying to sell to meet a need, okay? And then the third thing that we want to think about, this concept of friend selling, social selling, is we have to listen. Learning needs requires listening. Listening requires relationship. Relationships have to be built on more than simply sharing our businesses. Okay, are you with me? Give me an amen if you're with me. Okay, so the purpose of a believer's social media, because guys, I'm just going to be real clear. There are lots of people running very successful businesses on social media. Hi. Yeah, say hi if you guys are hi. I want to say hi. There are lots of people who run really successful businesses, and they share about the products and they share about their business, and they're growing, and they seem like they have this really cool influencer lifestyle, but we are believers and we have a different purpose. And that doesn't mean that we can't have successful businesses. It means that our heart must be aligned with God's. And God doesn't care about our business in the sense that like it's the only thing that matters. He uses our business as an avenue where we get to serve him and work with him and reach other people. But God has one mission, and that one mission is for people to know and love him, to turn and come back to him. I was just watching my church's Bible study for today, and they were talking about when Jesus came in and he flipped the tables at the temple and how he was righteously angry because they were selling in the temple. We are allowed to sell, but our hearts must be right. And so this comes into our sales aspect. Okay, so when we use social media, we have to recognize that we have influence. Okay, now I have this whole thing in Your Story His Glory where I question, are you an influencer or are you a leader? And I prefer the term leader because I don't want to influence people to something. I want to influence people to someone. I want to lead them to someone. Okay, if you're with me, can you just put like a 3 in the comments? Because that's the question that we have to ask ourselves. When we look at the work that we are doing on social media, what are we influencing people to? Who are we influencing people to? Your products may be great. Your business is great. I love my business. I love my last business. Okay, I've done 2 network marketing companies. I love other businesses. I use products from all of these other companies. However, they don't actually solve my problem. They might give me better hair, skin, internal gut health. They might give me good workouts. They might do all of those things, okay? But they do not give me what I really need. Because if I get so distracted with all this stuff, I just put Band-Aids. But when I get to the heart of it, which is Jesus, oh my goodness, everything is like, oh, okay, you can take care of this for me, God. Thank you. And so I want us, as much as we want to grow our businesses, when it comes to social media, guys, you might be freaking out right now. And I talk about this in Your Story Is Glory too. You might be freaking out. God's got you, okay? Doing it differently might seem scary, but God calls us to be set apart. And to be set apart, that means that we are holy unto him, okay? Which means we must look different. And so, guys, I've been using the Your Story His Glory method for 4.5 years. I didn't even realize it was a thing that God taught me, but it works. I have a very successful network marketing business. I don't say that to boast on me. I say that to boast on him. It does look different, however. Okay, so this is what I want you to think about. If you're pointing people to Jesus and you're working your business, let's go back to this idea of a friend, okay? So how can we encourage people and point them to Jesus? Guess what, guys? We can listen to them. We can support them. We can encourage them. We can call them out lovingly. We can talk to them, and we can add value to them. That was everything I labeled at the beginning of this about being a friend, okay? And we took that and put it to business, but now we took it and made it, let's point people to Jesus. Let's be a Christ follower in actuality, a gospel sharer. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to break down the 3 E's. Now I'm just going to give you those really quick. Encourage, educate, and engage. Basically those 3, and yeah, I did it real quick and I'm not going to say it again, just for fun. Those 3 are everything you need to know about the logistics of posting. And when I break this down for you, you're going to go, oh, so I am sharing about my business. Oh, I am sharing about my products, but I'm also being a friend. I am socially selling. I am on social media and I'm using it in a way that is authentically connecting with people. It's running my business with integrity. But most importantly, while I'm giving them an earthly answer to their problems with what I'm doing, I'm also pointing them to the eternal solution. okay? The eternal solution that we have in Jesus. And so you have homework, and this is going to give us a really, really good idea of what we need to deal with on your social media pages. And I want to help every single one of you individually get your stuff together. Okay, so you're doing a social media audit. Now, normally they say that people don't really go past the first like 3 or 5 posts. We, for this purpose, are going to do the last like 10 to 12 posts, okay? So whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, both platforms are slightly different. And I have a little bit of a variable on my content for both pages, but this is what I want you to look at. Number one, like if you didn't know you and you went to your page, would you want to be friends with you? Because you all know those people that they friend request you and you look on their profile and you're like, yeah, no, she only sells this and that's all she posts about and I don't want to be friends with her. Okay, so that's what I want you to look at is one, would you want to be friends with you? Would you click accept on a friend request? The second thing is, did you and are you adding value? And for the purposes of this, I want you to think of value in the sense that someone's going to take something away and be able to apply it to their lives. Whether it's a tip, whether it's an article you shared, are you adding value? The third that you want to look at is, we're actually going to go tangible here on posts. How many posts did you do of each kind in the last 10 to 12 posts of these 3 things? Business, products, and encouragement. Business, products, and encouragement. Because I think it's important to look at your ratio. And also, we're at the beginning of the month, so this is going to take us until the last week of the month. So it's going to show you how you pushed at the end of your month and how you're making up for it in the beginning of the month, okay? Because I talk about a business cycle of posting that I follow. It's a 4-week cycle for Your Story, His Glory. It's important to know that it must change from end of the month to beginning of the month. Okay, number 4 is, did you build curiosity or spam? And you need to be really honest with yourself. Are you just blasting pictures of the product, or are you creating curiosity? And curiosity comes from oh my goodness, I think I need that. What is that? So are you creating a conversation with your posts? And then the last one, guys, and I can type all of this out for you and give it to you. Who are you pointing people to? You or God? If you were to look at your posts, are you taking credit for it, or is God getting the glory? Are you talking about you a lot, or are you sharing what God did in your heart? Because that's important, and it's a really subtle shift, and a lot of times I still get it wrong, but it's recognizing I'm not awesome, God in me is awesome. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. If it was, just put helpful in the comments. You guys have any questions for me, drop them below, put them in this thread. This is a group for you. I truly just wanted to serve. I know there's a lot of people who want to do social media better and they need help. And I think we get stuck because we're trying to do it the world's way and we're not doing it in a way that's honoring God. So I love y'all. If you're live, go ahead and put live again so I know that you watched the whole thing. Same thing with replay, put replay at the end so I know you watched the whole thing. And I can't wait to see what your homework shares with you and what you see from it. And I can't wait to continue to teach you for the rest of this week.